Hey, come see us on tour. We'll be in Chicago, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Duluth, Georgia, right outside of Atlanta, Jacksonville, Florida, Tempe, Arizona, and Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets. Hey, guess what? Breaking news. Joe Biden's FBI just raided Scott Ritter's residence. The video on the right explains the proximate reason for this. The State Department funds Ukraine's kill list of information terrorists, and Scott has topped that list many times. I'm on that list. But the fact checkers would say that's not true. They'll say that there is no Ukraine kill list. That's what they say. I've seen fact checkers say that over and over. So they must be true. That must be right, and we must be wrong, even though we were always turned out to be right, and they're always turned out to be wrong when it comes to everything. But here, let's go to the next video, I guess. Let's go see what this video says. So there they are. The FBI shows up. Scott Ritter, he's a real enemy of America. The weapons inspector, the guy telling you the truth about Ukraine, telling you the truth about Gaza, telling you the truth about Syria. He's the problem. Okay. Let me go over here and see. Here, maybe Scott will tell us.
Well, I think we've gotten to the point where it's gone beyond perverted parody. When the Israelis jail 9 soldiers for raping Palestinian prisoners, and then Israeli citizens rise up and say that the Talmud interpretation of Jewish law says it's not a crime to rape non-Jews and that these men should be freed. Not only that, but they sent hundreds of people to the Palestinian prisons demanding to be allowed in so they can rape the Palestinian prisoners because they're permitted to under Jewish law. This led to a near civil war in Israel where soldiers were facing off against soldiers. This isn't bad Hollywood movie. This isn't the preface to some sort of zombie apocalypse. This is reality happening in Israel right now. Our ally. We claim that Israel and America is alike in many ways. I don't know, when was the last time 500 American citizens stormed a state prison saying we need to be allowed in to rape the prisoners because we're permitted to under our religious beliefs. So that's happening in Israel as we speak. The 9 soldiers were released now from custody with a crime because apparently in Israel, raping prisoners is no longer a crime. That's just one thing. They're blowing up. They blew up a school today with students in it. The school burned. The students were inside the school burning to death. The parents were outside listening as their children screamed as they were burned to death. That happens on a daily basis. What Israel has become literally the worst incarnation of what we could imagine Nazi Germany was like back in the day. I mean, and some people even say that even the Nazis weren't this bad. I don't go quite that way. I think killing millions of people in horrific fashion is as bad as it gets. But I think Israel's approximating the scope and scale of that behavior.
So when you say things like that, I guess things like this happen. The FBI shows up and they start searching your house. So if you tell the truth, you remember when I went to the UN and I gave testimony about the Nord Stream pipeline and the real cause of the Ukraine war at the Security Council at the UN, I was immediately, they used Pegasus to tap into my computer and my phone. So they got me. So they got everything that I had on my computer, everything that's on my phone. Who knows? They could be listening on me at any moment, at any time. And so that's what they did to me just for giving testimony one time at the UN. So remember they wouldn't let him on the plane? They went and they grabbed him. They took him off a plane. The FBI took him off a plane. Wouldn't let him go to Russia to that economic summit, which is a much bigger economic summit than Davos. But they wouldn't let him do it. So they're coming at him. That's Joe Biden's FBI is coming at Scott Ritter hard. And for lying? No. for telling you the truth. Remember, lying gets you promoted. Telling the truth gets your house raided by the FBI. It gets you thrown in a Delmar's prison. It gets your computer hacked by Pegasus and the CIA. That's what telling the truth gets you. It gets you kicked off of Fox News, even if you're the #1 show. Remember, Tucker didn't get fired for lying. He got fired because he started telling the truth. They took away all his advertisers. He didn't, and there was nothing to tie his hands anymore. And he got used to telling the truth, and they can't have that. So we should get talk. I'd love to get Scott Ritter on as soon as possible. Talk to him, get his take on this. But they're coming for him hard. It's crazy what's going on. Hey, come see us on tour. We'll be in Chicago, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Duluth, Georgia, right outside of Atlanta, Jacksonville, Florida, Tempe, Arizona, and Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets.